All right, we've gone live here on the Frozen Tundra draft. It's like some camera problems, but not a big deal. I'll be sharing my screen anyway here. And taking my face off the screen. So, doing a little prep work here real fast. At the moment, we'll have music in the background because I anticipate a lot of silences as I'm doing work in the background on the draft and whatnot. And let's see. Actually, we're gonna stop the screen and we're just gonna share. We're just gonna share the Frozen Tundra workbook here. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So that way I can do work behind the scenes as needed. And then okay. I don't know if we should invite the whole league or not. I don't want to cause any problems, that's for sure. And I don't know why it would cause problems. People interpret things different ways. All right, so I'm just going through and just trying to really rush the creation of a little template for us to look at today. That would be a little bit of a guide. So part of that is LAM. Part of it's doing this little lookup for defenses and full names of the teams here, which so many additional references to the okay, I'm getting this up. Many additional references to the sheet names, which means I gotta go in here and just sort of create them fastest way given the amount of time on the clock here. To-do Oakland. Oak. And that's okay. Philadelphia. Phoenix. PHO. Portland. SF4. SAG. Seattle now. SEA. SCS. That should be it. Okay, good. So this little team summary here. We're just gonna do an index reference sort of thing, or we can let's just do a lookup. All right, we're looking to freeze the row. We're trying to pull in. Already pulled in all of the sort of pro set players. I got to check in myself here. Then we're looking for this is not all that easy, is it? Because you're using multiple rows of ATL. So we got to create. All right, not a big deal. So let's just do this for the moment. Got two values here that are going to cause problems. So VLOOKUPs are not the best. It's just going to take the first one it can. So we're going to create one more here and just do like a little this sort of thing. That's the distinctions we need. And then we'll go back over here. And then we're going to have to add a row here. And we're going to have to use this nomenclature 4334. 4-3. I don't know if it's going to work. A little faster here. There's 4. Right, now we're pushing out to C. And still going to be 3. Okay, good. So no border here. So that's looking for that. 4, 3. And that's going to pull in our run. And the on pass, we're going to need to go out one more row, column. All right, and for this one, we're going to want to pull in, oh, you know what though? Yeah, we got a 4, 3. And then here, yep, and then here, it's going to be that. Right, okay. There we go. Okay. So this is a little snapshot where everybody is. That's good. I'm going to have to create, I don't know, we'll just work it in here. Follow my own special way. Obviously, a little more difficulty trying to broadcast and draft at the same time, but it's been done before. I guess it'd be better if I were a little more prepared, but I'm fairly well prepared. I just don't really know who I'm going to pick this time. I don't have a central idea. Nobody's on the broadcast with me now, so I can speak a bit freely. I mean, I'm thinking I could use tight end, use a defensive end. There's not that many out there. Only 4 rated. That's really the priority for the Atlanta squad. If you take a look here at the snapshot across the league, I need to check in. Okay, so I have Disley at tight end. It's kind of an issue. Throw fullbacks in here. I just try to build something that they can use real fast. So, I just did this 20 minutes ago. So it's not going to be as robust to pick up the subtleties of blocking back versus tight end choices in a blocking back halfback offense. So this just throws in sort of a pro set, and some of us have fullback, some of us don't. It really doesn't matter much. You could almost sort of make the case to delete this or hide this line, because that's really your meaningful universal set of players that pretty much all of us have to work with is this group here. So this might be a little bit better. Then you see pass block and run block rankings. There. Looking across the league. Look at Cincy's line. Strong. New Orleans also a strong line. Phoenix. So, got Denver up first. Maybe we'll do a little tracking here as well. Right here, who's selected. Might be the best way to go. As we go through the broadcast. I'm expecting, well, we don't know what Denver could do. Let's take a look at Denver's first pick. Jalen Hurts, I mean, this is, a benefit of having October 8th draft. You know that Hurts is going to be a solid keeper for you now. So that's a huge boon for Dave. And that means he can look to other positions. In the mock that went off yesterday, Sorry, Butch. You there? Good to see you. How long you been there?
Just a couple minutes, no problem.
Going through Denver squad here and talking about the mock yesterday. You selected Micah Parsons for him. Perfect sense. Slides right in. Let's take a look at the Denver profile here. This is just an approximate. Hurts, Gaskin, Ricky Seals-Jones, somebody named Johnson, and then McLaurin. Which Johnson is it? Wide receiver. Deontay. 10th ranked offensive line is currently contemplated, but lots of defensive problems. So look into defense. Makes a lot of sense here. I'm going to hide this. And, Denver's also has a 21st overall. I'll sort of factor that in too, given the halfback situation. But there's no halfback even worth thinking about at 1-1. With the defense the way it is, you can certainly make the case for moving down here. Micah Parsons is nice, but pick up another second rounder, low second rounder, maybe even late first for that one, if anybody's willing to pay the price. This defense can start to transform itself as there's a blatant hole at cornerback with one guy there. There's the aforementioned offensive outside linebacker hole. Help needed at inside the backer as well. And then help needed at halfback. So if you want to say there's 4 critical areas of need, I'd buy that. I mean, looking more down the draft a bit more. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 50 as it currently stands. Maybe that's enough. Maybe. Not sure who you're going to end up with at 47 there. Okay. Can anticipate a lot of silences in this broadcast, Butch, as we work away at different things, and that's okay. This is not a professional broadcast organization.
Will do. Might just be checking in and listening for a while. I'll give you my humble opinion when I see something exciting.
Yes, no problem. Do not feel the need to break in with, if there's an awkward silence, let it go. That means we're just both working. Not a big deal. The entertainment in the background is going to be the top 40 from 1985 in this week. So, whatever that is. We're at number. Doesn't say what number we're at. Like number 30 or so. Freddie Jackson. Michael Parsons went number 1 overall in Autumn Wind. Just looking over at those results, always a nice barometer for things. Just wanted to see what 47 looked like and its surroundings for Dave. And there's some decent players down there for sure. So Elijah Moore, Stephen Collins, Rondell Moore right in there, Malik McDowell in that territory. Solari went at that point. So, you're not going to fill a cornerback hole down there unless it's a deep, pretty deep prospect at that point. But Tyson Campbell went at, looks like 49th overall. So that's a good example. So this is, let's see. This is what I'll be looking at today. Just put this together last night, yesterday afternoon. It's not perfect at all due to naming issues. Sometimes, you have a junior wrong or you have a second wrong and it's not pulling in the right numbers, but for the most part, it's a good guide. Here's the in real life draft position, if they're starting in our lads or not. Right there pulls that in if they're first string. But first string can be deceiving. First string can mean they're a first string kick return. I mean, it's not necessarily the best, but again, a good barometer. And then all the PFF snaps and ratings. Just go out there. So just a little dashboard.
Contrary to the establishment, saw some pretty good chicken wings. This is the Hooters, and we danced at number 28 on the weekend.
Make this a little more compact here. The long worksheet names. It's difficult to move around sometimes, so just gonna that. Denver up first, then we have Indianapolis. Look at Indy's summary here, showing some pretty poor defensive ratings currently. Herbert and Harris needs some help at wide receiver. Potentially, it's Renfro and Higgins. Offensive line is 19th ranked. Work to be done in Indy. If the defensive ratings need help, the offensive line needs help, but they have Justin Herbert. That counts for something. Counts for a lot. Forget who we had him taken in the mock yesterday, but we had him taking Patrick Surtain, which makes sense, just sort of best available. There's Darius Slay at corner. So obviously picking up, there's no other cornerback on the roster or boundary. So Surtain can make a lot of sense here for sure. Seems like a no-brainer. Fills a hole. Good future talent. Let's see if we have Surtain rated properly here. We do. 200 and we don't. Okay, so let's get Surtain settled here. He's the second. Caused a bit of an issue there. Okay. And coming in at 210 snaps and a 75.8 coverage rating, which is very strong. So overall, 76.6 grade. No reason. Selected 9th overall in the draft last year in real life. No reason not to pull the string there, too. I think we probably nailed our first 2 picks. Oh, no, Parsons, I don't know. I'm not so sure about Parsons. I mean, if you're going to use the pick, sure. But there's things you could do with it. Get even more picks. Remake that team. Let's see here. If you had to bet, I would bet Parsons. I would. I don't think it's as sure as a bet.
I agree with you. We're going to find out in a couple seconds here.
Trevor Lawrence. So surprising for Denver. Backing up Jalen Hurts. Really big surprise there.
That's a shock to me. Yeah, I didn't expect it.
I'm with you.
It's a good pick. It's just not what I was expecting.
And Mac Jones at number 2. I mean, so Indy with Justin Herbert on the roster goes with Mac Jones. So I think it's a boon. It's a boon for these guys down below. But some of these guys needed QBs, so maybe not. Next up is New England. Probably did not expect both these QBs off the board. Let's take a look at the summary here for New England. Darnold at quarterback. So immediate dissatisfaction for Justin at 1-3. With Lawrence and Mac Jones gone.
Yeah, that's a big surprise. Both of those guys going with teams that have quarterbacks.
Yeah. So he has to go Micah Parsons at 3 instead of reaching for one of these quarterbacks, and I agree with him. I mean, it would be a hell of a reach for anybody else. I mean, Cooper Rush, but that's...
I think you had to take Parsons there. There was no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, Cooper Rush is for later. All those guys are for later. Yeah, I agree. So New England's second pick now. And then New Orleans.
Let's see if he burst my bubble right here.
There's Patrick Surtain, so you can...
Yeah, he burst my bubble.
So defense for New England. Shoring up the quarterback position, which had a 6 and a 4 walking in the door, and now adds in Surtain, truly walking in the door, and Parsons fills a hole at OLB with Bradley Chubb sitting behind as well. And here comes New Orleans. Butch's decision here. Pretty solid squad. More averages than poors. That's better than most people walking into the draft. Second highest rated offensive line, including the second best pass block. Melvin Gordon and David Montgomery in the backfield. $30 now for Butch, and he's going to select Jamar Chase. So that goes to form. We'll get Butch back on with us here.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Surtain or Mac Jones. So Jamar Chase was the next best thing, I guess.
Who were you thinking with him?
I'm sorry?
Who was it between Chase and?
I would have taken Surtain over Chase.
No, I mean of those available.
I still have a thing for Najee Harris. So, but it's kind of early, I think.
Yeah. And then how about Kyle Pitts into your mind?
Yeah, but I'm pretty set at tight end, and he's really not doing a whole lot yet. So we'll see. It looks like we got a wide receiver run going right now.
And you do. So Waddle off the board at 6 overall. So just looking at the Autumn Wind draft, 5 of the first 6 from Autumn Wind have been taken in the first 6 here. In the first 5 here. The only difference is Trey Lance moved out. Patrick Surtain moved in. Otherwise, holding form. Very interestingly. And I guess I'll go in and start marking these up a little bit so I don't fall behind. I'd like to just sort of read these guys out. That's what I typically do. So I know not to consider them. Buffalo now up at 6. We got Lawrence and Jones off the board. And then we got Jamar Chase off the board. And Waddle. Do we already have our... What was that? Yeah, Pittsburgh should be on the clock, no? So sort of some sort of repick here. Parsons and Surtain. We'll grab those 2 guys. Get them off the board. There goes Creed Humphrey. So center goes at 7. Probably is, that you start getting into the reasonable territory at 7 for a center. That makes sense to me. Now Pittsburgh is on the board. Take a look at Pitt. Running with decent defensive ratings. Taylor Heineke, highest. This pulls in the highest attempts at quarterback, the highest attempts at halfback, and the highest receptions at tight end and receiver. Okay, so first and second. That's all it's doing. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the person that's going to start this guy, but that's to be able to set something up in 5 minutes. That's the way you got to do it. So Pittsburgh shows Heineke and Fournette, Knox at tight end, Diggs and Kirk at receiver. Let's go validate Pittsburgh's situation. Yeah. And Butch mentioned this yesterday on the on the broadcast that you can stick with Heineke and wait for Mariota for next year. That's a perfectly fine strategy. It's exactly what I would do if I was Pittsburgh. And then we're talking Pittsburgh here. We're talking New Jersey. Oh, well, we're talking New Jersey. That was Pittsburgh that just selected.
We got our first trade too.
Yeah, we do. So New Jersey moving down, and Houston moving up. So Houston now. Holmes, Sanders, Kelsey, Williams, and Sutton. He's got the 22nd rated offensive line.
Who does Houston need? What does Houston need?
Well, O-line is 21st in pass blocking overall.
Okay.
Defensive ratings are decent.
Unless he's going for Pitts here, it could be.
Yeah, I mean that's what anybody here who would trade up, I would imagine, would be trading up for.
Right. Too early to trade up for like Zach Wilson. I don't know if he needs a quarterback anyway.
Patrick Mahomes does just fine.
Oh, that's true. That's right. He's got Mahomes. Didn't we say last night he needed? Did he need a running back?
He's got Travis Kelce at tight end too, so that would be a shot. No, he's got Miles Sanders there. It's a very strong team. Gary's had a strong core now for the last couple of years, ever since Mahomes came on the scene. Backed him up with Miles Sanders a couple of years ago, and that's worked out really well.
He's a good draft, good coach.
Yeah, the skill position's very strong. Just has to.
I just don't know if a defense. I don't know if a defensive player that is ready to move up here, unless he's going to go for one of the safeties.
He's got a 6 and a 5 at corner. Could use an upgraded safety, I guess. I mean, Adderley's there as his second safety. 4-4.
Maybe it's Holland.
Yeah.
Or maybe he want. Oh, he took a Mitchell.
Took Mitchell to go with Sanders. So concerned about Sanders' carries, I guess.
Yeah.
At 137. No, if you need carries, there are guys that can give you carries later, maybe, but not as high quality as Mitchell. So I'm just going to do that. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that. Ensure that's protein. With 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and now with 2 new flavors. Now it's SCS.
They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Conditions ready. Go.
If you're there, Butch, could you mute on your side, please?
Sure. Sorry about that.
No problem. So SCS. Jimmy G. Kenyon Drake, is that correct? Leading. So we had him taking Najee Harris, I believe, yesterday. And he goes with Stevenson over Najee. Wow. So Stevenson looking pretty good this year. Just doesn't have the patience, perhaps, for the card of Najee Harris. That would be an understandable reason there. But an interesting halfback run here. 8-9.
Yeah, but Williams is still on the board. I know he's hurt, but he's got a better card, I believe, than Stevenson.
And the Patriots resigned to take Zach Wilson here. Probably biting their lip while they do it. But what choice? What choice do you have? If you saw the way that the mock went yesterday, you can make the case that you can wait to 16. But I think we had him going to Chicago yesterday. Where did we have him go? We had him going somewhere in this 10, 11, 12 range. So maybe he didn't want to. Yeah, Chicago definitely needs a quarterback. So that's what forced the hand of New England, presumably. Zach Wilson off the board. Let Stevenson Mitchell go.
Kyle Pitts is still on the board,
That's amazing.
along with those offensive tackles.
If I had trade currency, I would be going after. Just don't have much trade currency at all. No depth this year. Wow. Here comes Paul entering his selection. LAC looking good on D. Tight end for LAC is now Kyle Pitts, and yeah, he could certainly use one. So seems to be a no-brainer if there ever was one. It's got to be ecstatic. Pitts falling that low. In Chicago, faced with the possibility of Justin Fields at 12, Davis Mills at 12, Cooper Rush perhaps at 12. If he goes Cooper Rush, which would be interesting, still has Cam Newton to play this year. I mean, out of those three guys, who's the best for the future? Rush has shown something here. He's got a future in the league.
He could take Lance and just play Newton this year as well.
Would you rather have Lance or would you rather have Cooper Rush at this point? Goes with Davis Mills. Okay.
I would have rather had Lance.
Would you rather have Lance than Cooper Rush?
I think so.
I'm on the other side of that, but not by much. But I understand. But goes with Davis Mills. So puts both of our views aside and goes with Mills here. Mills has been, steady. He has not been offensive at all this year. See a grade of 70, which leads all of the quarterback class in this draft. Highest offensive grade at quarterback so far this season belongs to Davis Mills. And there's Rasul Douglas. We had him going late yesterday. And the 5 dangles out there for those that need it. Which was the last one. And Sag takes him.
See if we get a run on the young corners now.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at where Rasul slots in here. So he had a 4 there, but upgrades to 5. And then Harrison Phillips goes right here. So Phoenix goes veteran. A lot of interesting guys out in the pool. Harrison Phillips, one of them. Five-rated defensive tackle. In the 2020 draft. Not a rookie. Been playing fairly well. 67 grade on 178 snaps. And he's the second of a group of veterans to go here. Al Woods, who's a 6, can give somebody a 5 nose, is out there, along with the rookie class. Penny Sewell here at 115 for Detroit. So let's put that in there. Detroit's offensive line, which was ranked last in the league. That would seem to be an obvious pick there. 22nd in pass, 24th in run. Needed that upgrade desperately and gets the guy he wants, most likely. That's probably right at the top of his list of where he thought the reasonable guys he could get at that spot. So, good selection. I got to start thinking about my pick a little bit here, more seriously. And yeah, we have seen a bit of a fall on offensive linemen, so something to consider. In addition to the defensive end and tight ends that I'm thinking about. And there's Javon Holland all the way down to 16. Nice pick. He's been playing out of his mind. There's Holland. Overall grade of 77.5 so far this year. Second round selection last year for Miami. 36th overall. No, 36 in the second round. 36 overall. Now Buffalo's up. Buffalo picked already. And they selected Jalen Waddle. So now, what will Buffalo work on next? Goes offensive line. There goes Trey Smith. You get the 20th ranked offensive line. About Trey Smith a little bit yesterday. He's always identified as the weak link on that line this year. And like the weekly articles on the entire offensive lines of every NFL team. They rank him, and they give you the weak link. And he's been there every time, but I mean, he's not that weak. Look at how he's doing. Here he is. All right, so 61 run block, 67 pass. And those are decent ratings. If it's a position of need, no reason not to go for Trey Smith there. Pittman traded down and end up with Eric Stokes. So there's Stokes. Sitting on a 68 coverage rate so far this year. 61 overall defense. Plenty of snaps, 26. So big. Okay, we had him a lot earlier. Kamoa. We had a lot earlier in our mock yesterday. But goes here now. It's a very good selection right there. It was justified earlier. And that was Indianapolis, I believe. Jersey back on the board. And they go with Pete Warner. Pete Warner going over Nick Bolton. Let's take a look at that. Pete Warner.
Neither of them sack too much, but Bolton's like a tackling machine. That's the only thing.
Yes. Bolton rating out a little bit better, about 10-20% better. And he's gotten plenty of accolades as well. But Warner playing for a really solid New Orleans defense. It's bound to get some good ratings all around. it's going to be a highly rated D. It's a D you want to be a part of, and that might be part of the thought process there. So I would get my short list set here and see how many get crossed off before we get there.
It's a lot more popular here in the U.S. than in their native UK. That was often the case that both sides of the Atlantic didn't always agree on. So it did make it into the top 40. I think it was the only single from that album make it into the UK top 40, but it did stop at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. So what can you tell you off the charts this week from ABC is
So Sean Slater still hangs out there. The top 10 from Autumn Wind: Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Rashawn Slater remain. Najee Harris still available. Javonte Williams still available. Trevon Moehrig still available.
John Caffrey and the Beaver Brown Band. This is C-I-D-Y. 142.
I'm up soon here. I'm up next. Oh boy. Okay. Oh. Let's see here. For a second. Take a look. Yeah, doing just fine. I believe you won. Yeah. I think I have my pick. Let's see if he gets stolen here. If he gets stolen, where do I go? I'm not up, am I? Okay, it's San Antonio. Okay.
Now we're waiting on SAG.
Heard that. So the thought here, Butch, for me is I'll take Melvin Ingram if he's there. He won AFC Defensive Player of the Month. Yeah, he's a 6.
He's playing really well too. So.
And there goes my second pick. Yeah, there goes my second pick. Yeah, I mean, if you just won AFC Defensive Player of the Month, that usually a good indication that something's going right. And interestingly, Freiermuth goes off the board right ahead, and he would have been my number 2 most likely. So it works out. I'm glad it's not the other way around. Or I'd be forced to take my number 2. Ingram with an I, right? I'm not messing this up. This is Melvin Ingram, right? Right. He's not injured, right?
Nope, he's not injured. He's a 6'2", a 3, I believe, this year, and he's knocking it out again. So.
Is it the month of the week? It was named AFC Defensive Player of the Month. Yeah, it's only been 1 month. All right, so let's end Melvin Ingram. This here. I got it right. Melvin Ingram with an I. Okay, done. It's Cincinnati on the clock. Catch up here, so. Well, Butch, I'm in the market for a 5-run linebacker. You got one for me?
I wish.
I'll take a 3-5. I don't care. Any stripe type.
Well, that I do have. I have that guy from Jordan Brooks. I think he's a 3-5, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 3-6.
We can talk.
We can talk. We should talk.
We should, because I think I have quite a few linebackers, all threes. And
Like-
now, the way the draft's going, I don't think I'm going to compete because I have 2-0 corners. So we'll see how it goes.
Mhm.
My pick is what 5 or 6 away, and there's some guys there I'd love to have. I could use Rousseau. I would take Najee Harris. I could take Trevor Lance. I mean, there's all kinds of options I got looking at me now. So
There goes Rousseau. Yeah.
Newsom's another one. So
There goes Rousseau.
okay.
Cross him off the list. And that's the last pick of the first round. Dennis sleep through this first round since he didn't have a pick, I guess. And he doesn't have a pick in the second round either.
When does Dennis have a first round pick?
I don't know. I have to use Control F to find him here. There he is. 69 overall is the first one, I think. Yeah. Nate Hobbs.
Slot corner goes that quick, huh?
Yeah. 5. Where am I here? And how's he playing? He's playing really well. Wow. 81 rating. Probably the number one grade among guys with over 200 snaps.
Yeah, I know he's playing well. I'm starting to think I'm going to have a harder decision to make with my pick.
Yeah, you're 3 away here. So there's a good chance Najee slips to you. And that would not be a bad thing, would it? Let's see. Oh, well. Yeah.
Not here. I mean, that's a good pick. I'm just going best BPA right now. So. But right here, that'd be a decent pick. Both my halfbacks are kind of banged up this year, and neither one of them are stellar to begin with. So. Not that Harris is stellar, but I just remember how it took Henry a couple years to develop. I'm hoping Harris is the same way.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you there. So now we have Oakland. Oakland did not select in the first round. That's correct. I'm looking at the Oakland squad. Lamar Jackson, Kareem Hunt. I mean,
we talked yesterday. He wanted to move up to 1-5, but there just wasn't anything to do there. So
Michael Carter. Carter has shown more early this year than we probably thought we would see from him, backing up the rookie in New York. Autumn win time, we didn't really believe he was going to get many touches at all and kind of be shut out, maybe even pushed to third. But he's established himself as the 2, and he has a good card this year. Now Minnesota also did not pick in the first round. Joe.
I might be flipping a coin here. I hope Minnesota takes one of the guys because I'm thinking Harris or or Trey Lance. You know,
Mm-hmm. Here you go. You got the choice. Najee Harris slipping to 29 overall, maybe here. Pretty big slip. Not
or
much.
Trey
Not much.
or Trey Lance. I don't know. I'm still.
I would say the Trey Lance slip is more justified than the Harris. I mean, Harris hasn't done anything to make you really downgrade him. He sort of continued on his same sort of workhorse 3 yards in a cloud of dust 2021. Until that quarterback develops, we're probably not going to see much spectacular play from him. But maybe that quarterback develops fast. There's Najee Harris.
Oh well. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I guess that. Oh, somebody told me good.
Sure was a good pick. I agree. I like that pick better than Trey Lance, but I think you made the right call.
Yeah, even when Lance was healthy, he wasn't showing me too much anyway. So
Now here comes Buffalo with, I think, the third selection of the day so far, Jalen Waddle and Trey Smith. So offense. And this is for a Buffalo team that could use some defensive help here. So showing poor across the board in the ratings. You can expect something on the D side of the ball. Could use help at linebacker for sure. Inside or out. Out where he'll go. But it depends on who's best available. And go with Devonta Smith. I mean, it's a big drop. Oh, this is Rudy Bill. He's got that Raiders emblem. That's fooling me. Okay, so
good pick, though. Good pick.
Oh yeah. I mean, in terms of overall value, that's a fine and dandy pick. Yeah. Really, I should have considered him too. But at that spot, we're sitting on. All of it should have. I like pick. Southern California sun up. And went with Stevenson, the halfback, the first time around, as the number 9 overall selection. Also showing poor ratings on D right now across the board. So the halfback situation has been taken care of. It's no longer Drake there.
Somebody who has the team this year's got to take Williams.
Yeah. But he's got his halfback, so he'll probably be good. Maybe New Jersey next. Some Jersey situation. Boy, a lot of them. Pollard and Swift and Dillon. And there's Rashawn Slater. I mean, he's a big dropper. And I hope he does come back for sometime in December and backs into a rating somehow. That would give him, if he can get up into close to 50% of the starts, that would be ideal. That might be optimistic, though. Slater was the second highest on the autumn win board. Still Trey Lance. We've had Zach Wilson and Greg Rousseau go, I believe, right? Have we had Zach Wilson go? There's Ernest Jones, inside linebacker. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he went in the first round.
Okay. Ernest Jones playing really well. Third round selection for the Rams, starting grade of 71, including 87 against the run. So a nice long-term selection there. And there goes Al Woods, so another veteran off the board. Woods, the sixth defensive tackle. He's 35 years old currently, but it's a 6 rating. San Fran on the clock. San Fran, I don't know if they showed up or not at some point. We'll find out, I guess, right now. So, Morig still out there. Justin Fields, Trey Lance the highest, then Fields, then Javonte Williams, Morig. Among those selected about a month ago, 40 days ago, which is a long time ago in autumn wind. I believe he was selected. He's not. So Rick Newsom remains out there. Tyler Huntley, Quiddy Pay, who's hurt. Asante Samuel remains out there. Amari St. Brown. So we don't know about Dave. Let's see. Is he typing? Don't see him typing. It's kind of a concern. Never like to see that happen. From a commish perspective in particular, it's you want to make sure all your guys get the picks in, everything sort of runs to form for the most part. But missing a pick, at 2:10. Let's see if we pause the draft here, if we just soldier on. Did you ever do the draft check-in? Let's see. No, don't see it. That's unfortunate. And here comes Jim, I guess, moving us on or pausing, one or the other. Obviously, either way is understandable. Yeah. So you make the pick for him. That's very, very nice, and that's a really good solution there. Greg Newsom. That's exactly the right thing to do, just an average owner, you might say, well, hey, no show, no pick. But that really shouldn't be how it goes. You don't want to see the balance in the league get messed with. So good job there by the team. There goes Greg Newsom. And there goes Asante Samuel off the board. And Chicago back on the clock. Chicago's hand was sort of forced into Davis Mills in the first round. Needs help on D. He's already taken care of the quarterback situation. Dalvin Cook's at halfback, so no issue there. Expect our best available, perhaps, defensive selection here from Chicago. New England will be on with, I've lost count of how many picks, their fifth pick. So far, New England, they'll be up next. Parsons, Surtain, Javon Holland, Zach Wilson. So certainly got to be happy with the defensive haul. The offense is sort of on a wing and a prayer. Hope it works out. He also got sort of forced back against the wall on the quarterback situation, not expecting 1 and 2 to go Q and Q. He thought Trevor Lawrence was his. Chicago does go defense. Darrell Taylor is a selection. Here he is. Having some struggles so far this year. On 179 snaps, shows a defensive grade of 37.5. Was selected. I don't show him up. I don't show him in my in real life draft look up for whatever reason. Doesn't mean he wasn't selected. Just could be a lookup problem. Next up is the aforementioned Patriots. So quarterback and 3 on D, 3 strong ones on D. And comes back with a backup quarterback. Makes sense to me. Trey Lance, perfect spot. Also could have made the case for Justin Fields, by the way. Quiddy Pay off the board here. Detroit. Dave and his Phoenix Cardinals up next. And Dave went, where'd he go? Harrison Phillips in the first round. Defense. Andy Dalton. He is probably eyeing Trey Lance too. You might see a Justin Fields pick here. Goes Uafunga. certainly been a strong early season. An 84.6 defensive grade, perhaps highest out there. Including 83 coverage. So just sterling performance so far. Buffalo up now. Rudy with another pick. He goes guard with Vera Tucker. Vera Tucker, 302 snaps, 60 on the pass. A little weak there. Good running, 72.7. 14th overall last year in the real life draft. Indianapolis, then Portland. Indy goes straight from Oregon. That takes one of the guys off my list. So, nice pick there. And long time coming to get Morig off the board. And I think we'll have Portland's first selection today coming up. And I gotta start focusing on my list here. And make it a little bit longer with Morig taken. Baron Browning. Inside linebacker. 56 defensive grade so far.
Just one away from the tie of 16 at 17 this week. Not only the founders of
Houston is next. Oklahoma, Denver, Atlanta, then Denver again. So Denver sandwiches, I sandwich Denver. He sandwiches me.
So what did you think when you heard this next song? What did you think it was all about? The lyrics, the meaning of the story?
Houston.
Well, if you ask the writer and the performer of the song, he said he didn't really know. So don't worry if you were scratching your head as well. The critics didn't.
Houston with Eliza Mitchell in the first round. You have a trade here. That's Portland. Just picked.
It's kind of a mishmash of a parody of other video time. So did it matter? Well, apparently not. This artist has had other songs that didn't make much.
I've got 3 guys I like, and there's 4 picks out there. Let's see if one of them gets taken here. It was a fun game to play. Justin Fields lingers out there. Cooper Rush lingers out there.
He must really want somebody. He gave up quite a bit to move down or move up a few spots.
Mm-hmm.
Gary's active trading today. He
Yeah.
usually doesn't trade too much, but he's pretty active. I think he's made 2 at least.
Helps to get out of an administrative role and get a bigger view of the playing field, I guess. So here comes Portland. Who was all the fuss about? Garrison. Okay, he was number 1 on my list.
That was a very good pick.
Back to the drawing board. Great. Yeah, and you could really have used him. So let's see. Christian is his name? Darasaw. Go to Portland. Oklahoma. Mitch Trubisky, forever on the trading block. He's been on the trading block for a solid 2 years. We've probably gotten maybe a dozen emails. Poor guy. Oklahoma. Denver, then me. So I got to come up with a third guy here. So I'll be back. I like Cooper Rush here. I like Javonte Williams here. And I like Elijah Moore here, probably. That's what I'm thinking about. Help this year at receiver for sure. And how's Moore's grading out? Have him over and on him win 2. Grading out a meek 59.9. Solid yellow light status as opposed to red or green. I've watched him. He's done fine. The rookie has taken a lot of looks away. Not that that's such a big deal in Stratomac football. It's not. This is not fantasy football. I could also use tight end. But there's really not much left out there, is there? At this level, no. And of course, I could use a tackle, which is what I wanted in Darasaw. Let's look behind Darasaw here. We've got Larry Broom doing well. And now I'm on the clock. He else really green. it has any significant snaps. I mean, Eichenberg is whiffing. Oh. All right, so let's take a look at the team one more time here. Who's going to be running the ball? Well, Jordan Howard as much as possible. Burkhead is just bad. So Javonte Williams seems to be a really good pick here. Can I get by with a wide receiver later? Yeah, probably. Corey Davis, T.Y. Hilton. I mean, obviously not good, but who's worse, Rex Burkhead at halfback or these guys at receiver, right? And you see no tight end either and sort of a hole to tackle. But that Darrisaw would have been where I went first, but he's just not there anymore. And I can move Tooney over. I can go find another guard. So it's going to be Javonte Williams, and we got to hope he comes back strong.
That's a good pick.
Thank you. You just roll the dice. I have him in S-Fall too, where I have to pay a price for keeping him next year. Very unlikely keeper here. You don't have in the S-Fall. You don't have to pay the price here, so a little different dynamic. You can wait a year or two for him to come back. So that takes care of the carry problem for Atlanta. Javonte Williams and Jordan Howard. So the running attack now comes up and can hang with normal teams. It's not an abnormally strong running game by any stretch, but it's now can hang. Catch up on these picks. And so that's good. And Portland will finish out our second round, at which point, Butch, I'll probably sign off. I'm guessing 2 rounds is good.
Yeah, I think so. 2 rounds is plenty.
Who does Portland take here? Portland now loading up in picks here after having nothing in the first round. 3 of these last 6, 7 went Baron Browning, Darrisaw. Oh, Houston got this pick in return. So Houston takes Ojulari, and that will finish us up. Yep, that's what he moved up for. That'll do it. Thanks for hanging, Butch. Butch, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Sorry I didn't talk too much, but I was kind of looking over the list. So.
Understood. I'm right with you.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right, everybody.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right. Have a good one, Butch. Bye now.